Hey, it's Shawn Greeves again with 30 years of real estate tips. Now, what is 30 years of real estate tips? Well, I've been doing real estate for 30 years. This time around, I started back in 1981, did it for a few years, bought like 20 houses. I was really young, 19, 20 years old. Left the business for a while, then came back 30 years ago and haven't looked back. Okay. Now, also, 30 years of doing business. I've done over 6,000 loans. I've bought about 300 houses of my own. I had 83 rental houses. So I've got a lot of experience to share, and there's no charge. So if you can learn from my mistakes and it doesn't cost you money, but sometimes you got to do my mistakes anyway and go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Say, you know what? I've had to learn a couple mistakes a couple of times. And the more money a mistake costs, the more you remember it. So I'm going to try and share some of these little lessons that I've learned along the way. Also, I'm a hard money lender. And like I said, I've done over 6,000 loans. I'm one of the biggest hard money lenders in St. Louis. And I mostly lend in the North County area, but I lend all over St. Louis. I don't do North City. I do no qualifying financing, no credit check, no application. Hard money is expensive. So there's a time to use hard money and there's not a time to use hard money. And if I don't think a deal is right for hard money, I'm going to tell you. By the way, don't ever use hard money for rentals. If you're going to plan on holding it, don't use hard money because you will not make money. So when I started doing real estate, see, a lot of people, they just kind of half-ass do real estate and they never do any deals. That's because they don't have what I call a white hot burning desire. You got to want it bad. Not kind of, sort of. You got to want it really, really bad. Okay? Like when I first started doing houses, I was working at nighttime. I was dealing poker out in Riverport. And I'd work from 8 o'clock at night till 5 in the morning, sleep a little bit when I got home, and then work on my houses. But every time I was at Home Depot or Lowe's, I'd always get those big carts, the ones you push around. And my mantra was, as soon as my hands touch that big cart, if I'm going to get 5-gallon buckets of paint, doors, whatever, and as soon as my hand touched that handle of those push carts, I kept saying in my mind, I'm a real estate investor. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a real estate investor. I don't want to tell people I'm dealing poker. I want to tell people I'm a real estate investor. And you got to burn it into your subconscious mind. You got to burn it in there. And that's what I teach in my motivational speaking. I'm a motivational hypnotist because I know you've got to get it into your subconscious mind in order for something to stick. So if you need a motivational speaker for a group, give me a call. I'll come speak to your group. But you have to have that white, hot, burning desire if you're going to be successful in this real estate game. Okay, so let's talk about wholesaling. So how many people out there, how many of you thought you're going to get rich being a wholesaler? Come on now. You bought the courses. You thought you were going to get rich. You thought money was going to fall from the sky. So how's it going being a wholesaler? Yeah, I already know how it's going. It's not going. You know why? It's because there's so many guys trying to be wholesalers. And they don't have any money to do regular deals, so they think they're going to make money wholesaling, and they can't make any money. That's because there's some guys spending $10,000 a month in mailings and marketing. You think you're going to jump in and maybe spend $100 a month on marketing when you're trying to compete with the guy spending $10,000 a month? It's not going to happen. Hey, even a blind squirrel will find a nut every now and then. Yeah, you might find a deal every now and then, but you're not. If you can, great. I hope you do. But you're not going to get rich in real estate being a wholesaler. I'm just telling you now. It's too hard. There are exceptions to every rule, but I'm telling you, it's too hard. You got to find a different method. A lot of you are trying to find deals off the MLS. Oh man, yeah, only, 100,000 people are looking at that same property, and you got stupid money out there that pay way too much for houses. That's your competition when you try and find deals off the MLS. Can you get a deal every now and then on MLS? Yeah, it's rare though. But here's a secret. The brand new listings, don't even try and buy them. Everybody's looking at them. Everybody. And they're driving the price way up. How about find listings that are 6 months old? A 6-month-old listing, you got a better chance because nobody's looking at it. There's no action on it. So there's your opportunity to make your lowball offers. So don't expect to get those brand new listings, especially if it's a good house and a low price. You're not going to get it off the MLS. You're just not going to find it. Also, we need motivation. We need motivation. And, my go-to motivational, you go to YouTube, there's all kinds of motivational speakers, okay? I like David Goggins. If you ever listen to David Goggins, oh my gosh, this guy's a machine. You're never going to be like David Goggins. I'm never going to be like David Goggins. But you can still pick up tips of what he went through and learn his story of what he went through. Also, Les Brown. I love Les Brown. Les Brown's more like us. And he started from nothing. And Les Brown has incredible stories. So you need to do motivation. Hey, you know what? You can get my book, The Success Formula for Humans. This talks how I went from broke to a multimillionaire. I had no money. And I've done over 6,000 deals. How does that happen? Okay. Then you also need to learn how to build a map. This is called the Treasure Map to Success. I'm not really trying to sell books, but we need motivation. So if you can map out a success map to be successful, do it. Okay. Now I'm trying to keep these videos short. So right now I'm a little over 6 minutes. So I'm going to cut it off here. Stay tuned for more tips. This is video number 3 or 4. I can't remember. But stay tuned for more. I'm Shawn Greeves. Thanks for listening.